Oh my god,
Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. What is that one wearing?
It's called a muscle shirt.
Oh, okay. What's up, Dink homies? Meme Sage here, and are you having a good day? Are ya? Or you're not? Or you are having a good day? Well, if you're having a good day, or if you're having a bad day, I'm about to make your day better. How am I gonna make your day better? Well, today I'm gonna rant about something. Because obviously from these results, you guys seem to really enjoy my misery. Also, speaking of results, a few videos ago where I talked about an app called TikTok, I posted a comment saying, if we get 100 likes, then I'll make a TikTok account. So I did that. So if you so happen to have the app TikTok, search my channel, Meme Sage Z, where I only post the most quality of content. So what the heck is this video actually about? This is about the brand new endgame that has been delivered by the grand hands of DE into Warframe, and it's called Arbitration. Now with Arbitration, first I want to tell you guys how to actually get to Arbitration before I actually tell you what it consists of. In order to get to Arbitration or to get these elite alerts, you have to clear the entire star chart, including the Delrict and the Kuva missions, all 275 nodes. Now that's a little bit hell and a half to do, because that also includes Arcwing and all the other game modes that you don't like, but you know what? I'm fine with it, because you completed everything the star chart has to offer. You deserve something. You deserve some like final boss mission, some really hard challenge, and I enjoy that. Alright, so now after you've completed the entire star chart, it will then be unlocked for you. How these elite missions work, or these elite alerts work, they work like normal alerts, except you can only complete them once an hour. So a mission will pop up like a survival or an interception or an excavation or a defense, and you can only do that mission once an hour. If you fail it, you can do it again, but you can only complete it once an hour. But before you enter the mission, on top of the node for the mission, it will tell you these two things. It will tell you two buffs. It will be a 300% power strength buff to a random Warframe that you don't have to use for the mission, but if you do end up using that Warframe, you'll have 300% extra power strength for it. You'll also get a 300% damage boost for that said weapon that is on the node that it says. So if you bring that weapon, you'll get a 300% damage buff. And for the most part, these missions play out like the normal version of these missions, except the enemies are way higher in level. Also, you only get one life. There's no respawns. If you die, you're dead. Which is cool, it's a challenge. I like the challenge. But you should note that the enemies do significantly less damage than they normally would, so you should keep that in mind, but nonetheless, it's still a challenge. Now with all those things that I just listed, I like this game mode. It's fun. You know, I actually get to use my most powerful builds that I spent all these years making. Also, it's very uncommon for you to find somebody who's under Mastery Rank 17. And I would even say that it's worth talking to your clan or your Discord and being like, hey guys, let's get a group together and do this current arbitration that's going on right now. But there's a downside to this. I loved everything that I've mentioned so far, but now everything that I'm about to mention is actual utter garbage. Now I'm about to list these things out from not so bad to DE change it now. Now I gave myself some time to play with everything, pause, but I gotten used to everything and I've checked out some of the mods and stuff, and I can tell you my results. So to start off with, the reward rotation order. This I kind of like. It's not so good though, but I kind of like it. Check this out. This is the reward. Now this is the reward rotation order. Now normally in normal missions, the reward order would be AABC, AABC, and repeat. Like let's say you're in a defense mission, the first 5 waves, rotation A rewards, 10 waves, rotation A rewards, 15 waves, rotation B rewards, and then 20 waves, rotation C rewards, and then it will repeat for every 5 waves you go. But in this game mode, it goes A, B, C, 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 C indefinitely. So as long as you're in the mission beyond the C rotation, it will always be a C rotation reward. And that doesn't sound too bad, you know, after you go beyond a certain point, you should be always getting the best of the rewards, which is why that one is the least offender. But now let's get on to the next thing, which might make this seem a little bad. Instead of every 5 waves or every 5 minutes you get a reward, it's every 10 minutes or every 10 waves. So like normally in a survival, you'll go 5 minutes and then you get your first reward, 10 minutes to get your second, 15 minutes to get your third, 20 minutes to get your fourth, like that, you know. But in this game mode, it's 10 minutes to get your first reward, then 20 minutes to get your second reward. But for defense, it's a little bit different. After 10 waves, you get your first reward. After 20 waves, you get your second reward. After 30, you get your third reward, you know, so forth and so forth. But the thing about these waves is 10 waves of defense is like 20 minutes. 20 waves of defense is like 50 minutes. 30 waves of defense is like an hour and 20 minutes. And when you're playing for that long, the game mode just does not feel rewarding at all. And speaking of rewarding, let's get on to the next offender, the rewards. So now first, I want to talk about the mods. Now there are 6 mods that come with this update. 4 of them are actual trash. One of them is extremely good, and one of them is highly debatable. Like, I've been arguing with people in so many discords. So many people are saying that this mod can be useful in like very small, really rare situations, and other people are just like, this mod is utter trash. I'm one of those people where I'm just like, I don't think the mod's worth it at all. But we'll get back to the mods later on in the video. But now this next thing is mission nerfing. Like, for example, defense missions, each wave is like twice as long. And also, for survival, life support drops half as much. Now, I get it, you gotta make the game mode a little challenging, but you already made it challenging. We only get 1 life, and we have to do 10 minutes instead of 5 minutes, and we have to do 10 waves instead of 5 waves. It's already hard enough. Then this next offender, ooh, this one isn't even the worst one, but loading. Yeah, loading. You can get damage while you're loading into the mission, then you're dead, and then you can't play, and then you gotta leave. Also, that's not just it, but if there's a host migration, while you're migrating, you can be damaged, and you're dead, and then the mission's over. Now this next offender, this isn't the worst one yet, but we're going back to the mods. The mods all cost 30k endo. All of them. All of them, 30k endo. But I'm not done yet. Now this is the icing on the cake. The #1 offender, the very thing that's pissing off every veteran, is what you actually get when you actually do get a reward. Now, the mods only come around rotation B and rotation C. You'll almost never reach rotation C because people want to leave after 20 minutes or 20 waves because they have school in the morning. But the mods have a very low chance of actually showing up as a reward. But what will show up as a reward, and this might shock you, is endo. That's right, guys, you get endo from Warframe's Endgame. Endo. Now get this, right? Now I know some of you new players are thinking, wait, Meme Sage, and I need endo. You know, that actually sounds pretty good. But here's the thing, this game mode is not for new players. You have to clear the entire star chart in order to even play this game mode. And on top of that, these are very high level enemies. If you want to survive, if you actually want to do a long run, if you even want to touch rotation C, you need to already have fully modded warframes and weapons. So you're in this end game mission and you already have your fully modded warframes and fully modded weapons in this end game mission, then why the diabetic dogfish ham sandwich dolphin biscuit snack do I need more endo? On rotation A, you'll get 1,300 endo. On rotation B, you'll get 1,600 endo. And on rotation C, you'll get 2,000 endo. Now some of you guys are thinking, hey Meme Sage, you know, that doesn't really seem that bad. Well, guess what? It gets worse, because the most common thing you'll get is actually not endo. It's another form of endo. It's Iatan sculptures. Not only that, but you get random Iatan sculptures, meaning you can be 40 minutes into a mission and get one of those teeny weeny lemon polka dot bikini tiny little Iatan sculptures that give you butt all endo. And on top of that, they ruined the Iatan market. They used to sell the thing, you know, they used to sell the Iatan sculptures to one another, but now they can't because the thing run like cornflakes all over the place, you know. Man, D make me so mad that I'm bringing all that Jamaican, you know. Okay, Meme Sage, calm down. Remember, your blood pressure, you're black. You can have a heart attack. All right, so the last two things I want to do for this video is I want to go over all the mods that are available for earning in this game mode. And then I want to go over some changes that need to be made or that I believe should be made to make the game mode better and more fitting to be the end game of Warframe. So the number one best mod from this whole set is the adaptation mod. This mod is insanely awesome. I love this mod. This mod is actually worth trying to seek out and earn. You get it from B rotation, I'm fine with that, but this mod is amazing. On paper, the mod does look like trash, but when you actually use it and test it, the thing is brilliant because for every damage type you get hit by, you gain 10% damage reduction towards that damage type. So if an enemy does slash damage, you get hit by that enemy 9 times, and it does stack, by the way, then you get 90% damage reduction for that damage type for 20 seconds, and it will continue to stack and continue to reset itself. Using this mod with, like, let's say a Naros with also an Arcane Guardian or Arcane Grace and all these other mods, you will never die, ever. You become God. The next mod is called Power Donation. What this thing does, it will remove 30% power strength from yourself, and it will give 30% power strength to all your teammates. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, well, not even a lot, a very, very small amount of people are like, well, this mod can work on some Warframes that don't need power strength. But people are forgetting there's a mod called Growing Power, and that will give you 25% power strength whenever you hit a status. And there are so many ways of actually proccing something to where you can use your Sentinel to proc a status, you can use your own weapons to proc a status, some Warframe abilities proc status. You're always going to have that 25% extra status chance, and your whole team will have it too. So instead of just removing 30% power strength from yourself, you can keep whatever power strength you have and then have an additional 25%. Now there's really only one Warframe that benefits from negative power strength, and that is Nova. And when you put negative power strength on Nova, Nova will make all the enemies in the map move way faster instead of making them move way slower, opposed to having positive power strength. Now, in what world do you want to have a speed Nova? Now, I know a lot of you end gamers out there are like, bro, I run a speed Nova all the time in end game so that enemies will hurry up and run to me. Well, guess what? When you get to a certain part in end game, you don't want those enemies running fast towards you because you won't be able to handle it. And in this game mode, you only get 1 life and the enemies already start off with a pretty high level. So you're never going to run a speed Nova in this end game. Let me catch my future child running a speed Nova in this game mode, I will take away the computer. Now the next mod is called Sharpshooter. It's a sniper mod, and whenever you get a headshot kill, not a headshot, but every time you get a headshot kill, you get 15 plus energy. Now, some people are for this mod. I'm not for this mod. The reason I'm not for this mod is because we already have so many ways of gaining energy without Xenoric. There is the Death Cube mod that just came out. There's the Sahasa Kubro. There's just flat energy. There's energy pads. There's Warframe abilities. There's so many ways of gaining energy that you just don't need to remove a mod from your sniper rifle just to give yourself 15 energy per headshot kill. If you want to mess around with this mod, go ahead, power to you. It's not going to hold me back. All I know is I'm going to have more damage than you. I know I'm going to get more kills than you. So this mod is to each their own. I can't say it's complete garbage. This mod is not complete garbage. I don't like it, but to each their own with this mod. Oh, this one's rich. Cautious Shot. This one is the butt. It is the butt. I mean, Starfire, Teen Titans, it is the butt, okay? This mod is called Cautious Shot. What this one does is, this is for explosive type weapons, by the way. 90% less self damage and negative 15% total damage. This mod is for people who still use the tongue core and play with their toes on the keyboard. I mean, this is the play Warframe with your forehead challenge type of mod. And here's the funny thing, 10% of any kind of explosive weapon is still going to kill you. Now this next mod is called Rolling Guard. What happens with this mod is that whenever you roll, you get 3 seconds of invulnerability, but it's on a 7-second cooldown after those 3 seconds are over. Now let me tell you why this mod is trash, okay? Now, I was thinking, hey, why don't I use this mod with Loki? Now keep in mind, this is something that most people don't know. Whenever you roll or do maneuvers, you take 75% less damage. It already comes with a 75% damage reduction whenever you do flips, rolls, and bullet jumps. And not only that, but enemies will purposely miss you. So now I was thinking of using this mod with Loki. Now normally what I do with Loki is right before my invisibility runs out, I'll bullet jump into the air and I recast the ability and go invisible again. Now that's only on my invisibility build. What you're seeing in the background right now is not my invisibility build. This is my disarm build. I go invisible for a few seconds just so I can run up on those invincibility drones and take care of those. So normally what I do is I bullet jump into the air and then I recast the ability and I'm good. But now with this mod, if you try putting on Loki, you have to keep on watching your invisibility, and then the last second when it's ready to be casted again, you roll, and then you have 3 seconds of invisibility or invincibility so you can cast your invisibility ability again. This is way too flippin' tedious. It's dumb. Just bullet jump in the air and recast the ability. Do the same thing with Revenant. Do the same thing with any Warframe where you recast ability. Now some of you guys are thinking, what about Nezha? What about Rhino? Here's the thing. They already have this mod built into them, except you don't have to roll. When the armor ability on Nezha or the armor ability on Rhino runs out, they will simply have this ability active. They have a few seconds of invincibility for them to recast the ability. Also, rolling is a major part in movement. Rolling is a main part in moving fast in Warframe. If you can't roll, or if you choose to roll out of time, then you would have already used the ability will be on cooldown, and while it's on cooldown, you can't go invincible when you actually need it to cast your ability, therefore, mod is useless. Now for this next mod, it's a bit tricky. It's called Vigorous Swap. What happens with this is that when you swap your weapons, you will gain 165 damage for 3 seconds and 100% holster speed. Now this mod is very tricky because you put it on your Warframe. Now I would say this mod is good if you can put it as an Exilus mod, not as a main mod, mainly because it doesn't increase Warframe damage, it only increases the damage of your said weapons, and you're gonna be switching all the time over and over again just to maintain that extra 165% damage. It's like you turn the mission into a circus and you're the clown juggling on a unicycle. You're just juggling your weapons. But one funky thing about this mod is that it doesn't work with Warframe abilities, but it does work with exalted weapons after you first trigger it. So for example, Mesa, if you turn on your 4th ability, it's gonna work for that. Yes, it will work, but it won't work right away. There's like a 2 to 3 second delay, and in that time you've already killed everything. But let's say you didn't kill everything because it's like level what? Freaking level 200 enemy? Okay, level 200 enemy and you're using Mesa against that, you get the 165% extra damage for 3 seconds afterward. Then you turn off the ability and then you recast it. Yeah, I know that sounded confusing, right? Because it is. Now that covers all the mods, right? So far our rewards that we're getting from this game mode are Endo, Iatan sculptures, and garbage mods. Oh, congrats guys, you did it. You cleared the entire star chart, you did all your quests, so now you know what you get to do? Get Endo. I mean, it's not like we're going to give you a Forma to help you get the rest of the weapons and build them to be overpowered as well, and it's not like we're going to give you like anything else to help you progress in the rest of the game. We're just going to give you something that you should already have by now. Hindsight, if the rest of the mods were worth it, I would say that Endo is worth it, that it's just going to supply itself because all the mods do cost 30k Endo, so I would say you can run this mission for 1 day so you can level up that one mod that's actually worth it, and then after that it's just go to sleep, play a different game. Wow, this is a long video. Alright, so last but not least, these are the changes I would make to make this endgame actually worth it. 1, whenever you're loading or there's a host migration, you need to be invincible. No ifs, ands, or buts, because if I'm loading and I'm dead, then I have to leave the mission. Take away the mission nerfs. I don't want to get less life support in a survival that's already 2 times harder than the normal survival. It should not take me 40 minutes to get only 2 rewards from a defense mission. Oh, here goes a big one. Instead of A, B, C, C, C indefinitely, why don't the reward pool be A, B, C, D, C, 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 D, C, 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 D indefinitely? Like, you can keep the endo drops, but how about during the C rotation, we have a chance of getting a built forma, a lower chance to get built forma. Getting built forma when we've already cleared the entire star chart and did all the quests and everything would help us complete our other weapons so we can have those weapons way more powerful, and then we can stay in the game even longer. And on top of having the low chance of getting built forma, how about we have another low chance of getting Kuva? Maybe like 9k Kuva. That sounds fair. Putting Kuva, endo, mods, and forma on C rotation will keep people inside this game mode for as long as they can possibly go. They may even go for 3 hours just to constantly get that C rotation because it's worth it. Heck, throw Nitane in the C rotation and make it dissolve over time. Make it dissolve over time just like Argon crystals, because being that Argon crystals dissolve over time, that's what keeps me going back to mod. If the Nitane extract dissolved over time, that would keep us going back to this game mode. We're forced to come back to this game mode when we need Nitane. That's keeping players in the game. That's true incentive. And as for derotation, now think of this. For derotation, it will happen once every 40 minutes. That means that you will get a derotation 3 times in 2 hours. Barely anyone's going to do 2 hours. So what you can do in this is you can do a larger endo stack, you can do a larger Kuva stack, you could put 2 forma in this, you could put a Riven in this, you could put 3 Nitane in this, you could put a legendary core in this, very low chance, you could put a lot of the sortie rewards in this, and give it some crazy RNG, because get this, getting to wave 40 in a defense will take forever. Getting to wave 40 in a survival will take 40 minutes, but then think of this, that's only 1 rotation D. To get to the second rotation D, that's 80 minutes. That's like, okay, if we're lucky, we'll get something great. So we're not going to be aiming for the rotation D, what we're really doing is farming rotation C. That's the true incentive to keep going throughout the long mission, while you can also get lucky during the D rotations. And as for the mods, some of the mods don't deserve to be labeled as Endgame. So they should not have 30k on it. They should not have 30k endo in order to make them maxed, especially when the maxing out does next to nothing for some of these mods. And then put these mods in the A and B rotation, because that way people can only do 20 minutes or 20 waves of whatever mission, and doing that they'll be able to farm those mods that they need and they can get the heck out, because obviously they're not prepared enough to go that far in the game if they don't have these quote-unquote extravagant mods. And buff or change some of these mods so that they're actually worth it. I would say the power donation mod, instead of -30, make it -15. That would make it way better. I think that's everything. I think that's all my thoughts on this endgame. In conclusion, this endgame needs work. It needs work. Oh yes, it needs work. A lot of work. And hopefully we see at least half these changes that I've mentioned actually implemented into this game mode, and it will save. As a matter of fact, doing these changes would keep so many players in the game. It makes the game way more streamable. And when you make the game way more streamable, you also bring in way more players. Doing that, just that alone, will actually help deplete the number of player loss you get in the game every month whenever you don't put out an update. That's sustainable content. It's sustainable enough to keep players in the game while you work on another update. And whenever you put out newer stuff in the game, you can even add that to this game. Oh, and there's one more incentive that is huge that I can't believe I forgot to mention in this video so far. A lot of players in Warframe don't like PvP. Do player versus player in the sense of player versus environment. That means a group of players that go the farthest in this game mode, they get put on a leaderboard. If you're in the top 10 of this leaderboard, or even the top 20 of this leaderboard, or the top 40 of this leaderboard, you get some kind of special item. You get some kind of thing that hovers over your head, so that when you're playing missions, people see that thing over your head and they're like, wow, this is one of the best players in the game. Alright, but that's all I have to say for this video, and if you guys enjoyed this really long video, then go ahead and leave a like and leave a comment, and if you haven't subscribed yet and you want to become part of the Dankumi family, then go ahead and do so, and I will see you guys later. Peace and much love.
Don't change, don't change, don't change. Even though life ain't the same. Say, don't change, don't change, don't change. Life gon' make it happen anyway. And I say, don't change, don't change, don't change. Even though life ain't the same. Say, don't change, don't change, don't change.